The recipe today is fresh pasta. So I have here 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to pour that onto my work surface. I'm going to make a well in the middle of the work surface, which is basically a hole where you can see the counter. Now I'm going to beat a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in with my 3 eggs using a fork. Now that the eggs are beaten, I'm going to pour them into the hole or the well. And slowly I'm going to incorporate the flour into the egg using a fork. Just keep working your way around the edge of the well, incorporating more flour. If at any time the egg starts to leak outside this well, just try to push up the flour to create that wall again, and just keep mixing it in gradually. Don't rush out eggs. Now that it's started to come together, I've started using my hands and I've molded into a ball. And then we can get ready to knead the dough. Start by pushing away all the excess pieces. Don't discard those pieces, just set them aside. Make sure you're working on a lightly floured surface, and then we're gonna knead the dough using the heel of our hands, folding it over, turning it using the heel of your hands. Just continue with that process till it comes together. It should take about 10 minutes, and as the dough starts to stick to the table, then bring back some of this flour. I'm halfway through my 5 minutes, and for a long time I thought it was super dry and not going to come together, but it's starting to come together. So know that pasta's a dry dough, so it's going to be stiff and it's going to look like it's not going to come together, but you need to keep going. Also, I want to point out that I haven't added this stuff back because I feel like it's dry enough as is. Now that I've kneaded it for 10 minutes, I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for 20 minutes. The dough has been resting for 20 minutes. Now we're going to divide the dough into 3 pieces. We're going to cover it and let it rest again for another hour. The dough is rested for an hour, and so I've taken one piece and unwrapped it. I'm now going to roll it with a rolling pin to 1.5 millimeters thickness, rotating the dough often and lightly dusting the dough with flour, and you can dust your rolling pin as well. All right, I've just kept rolling. I didn't really follow the instructions of the recipe, but I've watched enough videos to know that this is how you do it. You can run it through the machine. I'm using the rolling pin just in case people at home don't have a machine. You want it to be very thin. Just like the pizza dough when we cooked it, it got super thick. This will thicken when we're cooking it. So you want it super, super thin and rolled in a long strip. Even if you're using the machine, you need to have it into a narrow strip so that it'll fit into the machine, and you can just keep making it thinner. So I'm gonna do this with all 3 of my pieces, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, now we're gonna take the dough and we're gonna have it hang over something. You can use the pasta racks in class, or use whatever works for you at home. And we're gonna do that for 15 to 20 minutes, and we don't wanna get too dry, but just a little bit. The dough has sat out for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now we're gonna roll it up like a jelly roll. So we're gonna turn it over like this and just keep rolling it. Now we're gonna cut the jelly rolled pasta into 1/4 inch wide strips. So I'm gonna start here. Now this is only one option for how to shape your pasta, and I will show you a video, or you can look up one on the internet. I will show you all different ways that you can shape your pasta. Just remember that when you cook it, it will grow, like it'll get wide. Now we're gonna unroll one of these pieces. This one's gonna be shorter or different than the ones that are in the middle. And that is your 1 strip of pasta. You can cook it from fresh like this, or you can let it dry using a pasta rack. Enjoy.